Welcome back to No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. We got trade deadline coming up this Thursday. So what better to do than do a little trade deadline preview? Yeah, I know you're ready. You got your team president, your GM cap on, ready to wheel and deal. First and foremost, we got to start Philly. Seems like, since I've been on the show, all we talked about is the Ben Simmons saga. Uh-huh. He's literally given up close to like $19 million in fines as of this taping. Been some moves and some traction, some talks. Nothing's really gone through. A lot of teams have kind of pulled out because the asking price has been too high. Mm-hmm. So what do you think is going on with Philly? Do you think they're going to make a move, and is Simmons going to be on the squad after February 10th?
Of course the asking price is going to be, ridiculous because, once you realize what you do have, you don't want to get – you want to be on the winning side of it. I understand – Philly's standpoint that they want to be on the winning side of this trade. But that's actually at this point unrealistic. You have a 9-position player on, you have a 9-position player. He can play 4 positions on offense and all 5 positions on defense. You just don't find that type of player. You can cry about he doesn't shoot the ball and he doesn't do this, but he's going to pass. He's going to rebound, and he's going to defend his ass off. 2-time All-NBA first-team defender. So that's what you have to actually, bring back, and that's going to be hard.
So you got Embiid playing at an MVP level. I think he's the favorite in a lot of sports books. Does this team doing him a disservice now by playing these games with Ben? You said that they're not going to win a trade, but trading him and bringing some value back, isn't that just a win in itself?
Yeah, see that, and that's where the tide goes against him because you have Embiid, right? You have to win right now with Embiid because at some point Embiid is going to be like, yo, I want to be considered one of the greats and I need to win a championship. So you only have about 3 years with Embiid before he starts getting that idea that I need to win a championship to actually be amongst my peers. So that pressure is going against them. So you're going to have to make a move that can impact Embiid right now.
Okay, so we're going to do a little role-playing here. I'm going to assume the role of Daryl Morey. I'm going to be a hard ass. And really, you're going to give me some trade offers, but I'm probably going to say no to all of them. That's just me really assuming that character. But so give me your best and final offer for Ben Simmons. I got Ben right here, Gil. I'm ready to make a move. I got to get Embiid right, got to get the Sixers this championship. I'm going to be tempted to make a good move if you come to me with a good offer. So what we got?
Okay, so if I go with, the trade talks with Washington right now.
Okay.
Beal for Ben. If I'm Washington, why? Why would I get rid of Beal to bring in Ben? How does that do me justice? What is where do I win? There's nothing. I'm losing a top scorer for a all-purpose player, but I want them both. So I'm not going to give up Beal for Ben. I want them both. So if I look at the roster, Kuzma, Spencer, Montrez, I can possibly give you 2 out of the 3. I'd rather probably keep I'm losing 20 off the bench with Trez. He's going to bring hard-nosed. I can probably throw in that. You don't need Trez because you already have, Embiid. Probably give you Dinwiddie and Kuz, for Beal and see if that works.
So Beal, Dinwiddie, and Kuz?
Huh?
To Beal, Dinwiddie, and Kuz for
Beal? No, there's no. No Beal. What are you talking about?
No Beal, no deal.
Why would I give you Beal? I want Beal and Ben.
But no Beal, no deal.
Okay.
I'm Daryl Morey. This is how I move. Okay. I got Ben right here, well rested. He's been chilling. He's in shape. He's ready to go. I know the team said all that shit last season, throwing him on the bus. We didn't mean it. We were just playing.
Yeah, I get it.
We were just kidding.
Yeah, I get it.
We were just kidding.
I really get it. So you turned down that deal. Okay. So if I'm the Clippers, right? Which I think Clippers has the most pieces that they can give up. At the end of the day, I want Paul George, Kawhi, to add Ben, my three-headed monster. So I'm not gonna give you star for star. That boat has sailed. That boat has sailed. Like, you cannot do nothing with him. You're not gonna get anything for him. No one is gonna give you their star, because if they can get Ben, it changes their team. Like, you're trying to win a championship with your team, right?
Okay.
I'm trying to get into that race too. So I'm not gonna give you my star to get back a star. It's pointless at this point. This is not the beginning of the season. So I'm trying to say, well, if I can get Ben, it's gonna elevate me, right? If I'm out of the playoffs, it's gonna push me to the playoffs. If I'm a playoff team, it's gonna push me a couple rounds. If I'm an elite contender, this possibly gives me a championship team, right? So if you add Ben with Kawhi and Paul George, you have a whole different team. So I got Reggie Jackson, I got Luke, I got Zubac, I got Brandon Boston that I can give up, a young kid that's pretty good at the 2-3. Marcus, one of the bigs. So I have more pieces that I can get in there to give you a better solid team, because you're trying to win a championship. So you don't necessarily need a star. You need amazing role players. So I'll probably give you Reggie Jackson, Marcus, Brandon Boston, and 2 picks.
So I'm playing the role of a Caucasian man. I've never experienced it. But as a powerful Caucasian man, I'm gonna be arrogant. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say, look, I got a PG for you, Ben Simmons, but to give you this PG, I need your PG. And I'm talking about Paul George. Throw him in, no big deal.
No need. That's what I said, but that's the problem, that you think you have the power right now when this relationship is over. It's over. There's nothing you don't want to be with you. So he's not suiting up. So there's no need to give you.
But I have Ben Simmons here, generational talent, amazing defense. He's been working on his jumper. We've seen the videos. The jumper's looking buttery now. I'm telling you, it's buttery. He's improved.
Should have thought about that before you opened your mouth. You were number 1 in the East last year, right? And then you threw your man under the bus. Where, look, offensively, he struggled, right? Defensively, monster in the playoffs. Like, you didn't get killed by Trae Young. You got killed by everybody else. So he did his job. He got his. This is the thing that kills me, that you argue about a guy whose job is to get you the ball. Like, his job is to get you the ball. So I'm giving it to you, and you mad that I'm not taking shots. No, I'm giving it to you. That's your job. I'm not feeling it right now. Like, you've been there before. Shit's off. You know, I'm not feeling mentally. I'm not here. But defensively, I'm gonna be there. I'm there. You know, I can get this rocker, but I'm not feeling my jump shot right now. That happens in the playoff. That happens during the season at some point. So everyone doesn't have the Klay Thompson mindset, right? Hey, I don't give a if I miss all my shots. I'm gonna keep shooting, right? There's only a few people that have that type of mindset. So, you already had a great team and you needed to add pieces. So now that you lost an actual piece that you cannot use, you cannot make that better. That piece is gone. So you have to come to reality at some point, because at the end of the day, you can't go into next season with that piece not playing again and not getting anything for him again. So at some point, you will have to make a deal that you just don't agree with. That's just...
Are you throwing about 2 first-round picks, and I'm a big fan of chicken and waffles. Philly, we're deprived of that. Give me a Roscoe's franchise as well, and maybe I'll make that deal with you.
Denver could be tricky. If Denver decided to go into that race, if I throw in Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, they could possibly.
You have my attention.
You can possibly pull that off. I'll start the negotiations without one of them. I'll try to hold on to Michael Porter, throw in Gordon, Forbes, give you back Austin Rivers. You know what I mean? And a few picks. I mean, Austin Rivers is a solid player. He knows how to play. He's a guard. He defends. He hits big shots. It's your son, right? So I'm gonna give you back him.
He is Doc's kid.
So him, Forbes, Aaron, maybe Will.
Oof.
You try to, so I'm trying to give you a complete team that you can, you can wear. I mean, because right now you have Danny Green at your shooting guard, and the fact that is going to be from 1 to 8 points. Any matchup he's in loses. Like, that's what I hate about defensive teams, because they don't realize if a guy is going to score from anywhere from 1 to 8, what is his opponent doing? Because if his opponent is going to outscore him by 10 to 15, 20 points every night, that's a liability, because there's no, like, you're taking 5 shots, this guy's going to take 20 shots. I don't care how great your defense is. If he doesn't average the same amount as you lost. Someone has to make that up.
For sure.
Right? So you have a Danny Green who's, everyone he's guarding is trying to score 20. He's trying to score 5, 10. So that needs to be upgraded. With Ben or not, that position needs to be upgraded. So I'm going to be offering shooting guards. Hey, you have Danny Green over there, right? And it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, play 21 minutes. So I'm gonna give you, pieces so you can make that deal. So, Denver has the more exciting players. You have young players. You're getting players who's proven to put the ball in the basket. Hopefully they bite on that. But other than that, I personally don't see anyone dumb enough to give you star for star. But it is the NBA, and the general managers are actually not that smart. I'm just not. You gotta remember, it's not like they've been studying basketball. Usually they're just friends of friends, family, discount friends, that just get jobs or, so, you can get anything out of a trade.
So as a Daryl Morey, I'm going to have to pass on those, but appreciate you. And I appreciate what you're saying about the defensive shit, too, because in my mind, I've never seen a game 1-0-0. So defense is great. Defense don't really win championships if you got to get a bucket, right?
Can I ask you a question?
You may. Okay, back is Daryl.
If no one offers you a star, right, now, this summer, what are you going to do next year?
Well, I'm going to hit my buddy James.
James who?
Over there in Brooklyn. And tell him, come on through. We got the cheesesteaks for him. Much better gentlemen's clubs than what Brooklyn's offering.
Okay, so James Harden is a free agent?
We'll make a deal.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay, so let me get this. So you're thinking Brooklyn is going to give up James Harden for Ben Simmons?
They could be persuaded. I am Daryl Morey.
First of all, you haven't persuaded no one at this moment at all yet. So I'm the Nets. I'm the Nets, and I'm going to give up a bona fide superstar offensively for a superstar defensively. Why?
Why not?
Why?
That's a good point. That's why.
That's
why I can't be Daryl Morey, because honestly, I don't pull the trigger.
Right now, even though the Nets are not playing very well, when they're all on point, or even two of them, they're hard to stop. So it's like having Golden State. You got 3 scores, and then if you can get a Draymond Green, Ben Simmons over there, boom. So I'll give you everything, but I'll give you Blake Griffin. I'll give you a Joe. I'll give you 2 coaches, some cheerleaders. I'll give you whatever you want. I just want to keep them 3 at Ben, and we good.
I need like 15 chopped cheeses too.
Look, I know. Look, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. as Philadelphia, you want to get back a star for your star. And that's the problem sometimes when opening your mouth too soon. It just backfired. Usually those antics work. Those antics work. You know, oh, bad locker room guy, let me get rid of. Usually that shit works, you know, because you got to convince the season ticket holders, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of his bad locker room guy, and you use those tactics against him. But once he got back there, instead of making the atmosphere a better place for him, it became a tit-for-tat war. Now you start trying to put out narratives on why you're not gonna play him. Like, remember, I said it way back then, what was gonna happen? You put out these narratives, oh, he got a water bottle. I mean, he got a cell phone, knowing damn well this is not 1984. The big drug dealer cell phones in a pot. No, that's a water bottle. So the fact that you said it was a cell phone to make him look stupid and then suspend him the next day so he doesn't play in the first game, you already had a tit-for-tat war that just was never gonna be fixed. So Philly's just in that situation. Like, it's one of those situations where you up. There's really nothing you can't do nothing. You cheated, you got caught, they got pictures, this and that. I want a divorce. Just sign papers. You know what I mean? You know, there's nothing you can do. All you can do is just make it worse. There's really nothing you can do.
And like we said earlier, at this point, by not doing anything, you're taking an L. And you're going to take an L anyway, so you might as well make a move, get Embiid something that can surround them with so they can really make this push, because you really now are going to cost the team if this trade deadline passes and you don't get a deal done.
Yeah, because, one, that means, you have no matter how good Embiid is right now, you have no chance of winning a championship. You have no chance of getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's just, it is what it is. So that means one more year of disappointment. And then if I'm Doc, and I got to put myself in Doc's, situation, the record reflects me, right? Like, so if shit goes downhill, y'all gonna start looking at me like I'm doing a bad job, knowing I'm losing a whole fucking superstar. So we was #1 last year. Now, 3, 5, 4, whatever. That reflects me. You're not gonna sit there and say, hey man, we botched the deal and we. No, you're gonna look at me as this is the reflection of my coaching style, and then you're gonna be trying to get rid of me to save your job. So if I'm Doc, the pressure is gonna be put on them too to make a deal. Like, oh no, wait, hold on. I think I can do something with these pieces, and you're gonna start trying to make a deal so you can get a full roster going into next year.
Most definitely.
No Chill is brought to you by Harry's. If you're looking to find ways to shave off a few bucks this year and you get your grooming game on point, look no further than Harry's. Harry's makes absolutely game-changing razors that offer you a close, comfortable shave. Not only that, the price is right at less than $2 a blade. And in recent studies, guys who said they shave 4 times a week said their 8th shave was as smooth as their first. Can't argue with quality and economics, and Harry's is giving their best offer to our listeners. New Harry's customers can redeem a starter set. You get a 5-blade razor, a weighted handle, foaming shave, gel with alloy, and a travel cover to protect your blades when you're on the go. That's a $13 value for just $3. There's truly never been a better time to try Harry's. Go to harrys.com/nochill to try Harry's today and get your grooming game on point. Thanks to Edmunds for sponsoring the show. Car shopping is wild right now. People are paying crazy amounts for new and used cars because of inventory shortages. It's mad stressful. Edmunds make it way more manageable. They have customer advice, honest car reviews, video test drives, and online shopping tools so you can find the car of your dreams from your living room. With the current shortages of inventory of cars across the country right now, it's important to be flexible when searching to find your right car. For example, I drive a Maybach. But if I had to, I could see myself going with a better Maybach. I'll just go onto Edmunds, pop them in the side-by-side comparison tool, and see how they match up. Car shopping can be overwhelming. Edmunds is here to help. Visit Edmunds.com and click on Edmunds Car Ranking to research and compare vehicles. That's EDMUNDS.com. Edmunds, we drive it like it is.
All right, well, let's keep this thing moving. We mentioned Harden previously. Let's talk about these Nets. Nets have lost 6 straight games. Obviously, KD's been out. But you should have enough with Kyrie and Harden. Harden's obviously battling the hand injury, struggling, been very vocal in the media. What's the deal with the Nets?
Just like last season, when it's revolved around 3 super mega stars, one of them goes down, that means, the pressure's on 2. One's knick-knacking, the other, they've had so much, drama going into, to the season, during the season, it's New York, it's Brooklyn. They just haven't had a full roster to really, put it all together. Right now it's kind of like a little bit like last year. They're in, they're in for 1 game, 2 games together, someone's out, this person's out, they're in for a couple, quarters, someone's, so it's just with them just trying to everyone stay healthy or everyone get healthy at the right time. Them winning 70-something games, those guys are at that point where that doesn't matter. I guess at this point, just going into the playoffs as a healthy unit, is the most important thing.
So we know Kyrie can't play home games. Does it benefit this Net squad to finish 5th or worse in the standings to get more road games in the postseason?
Of course we want to say yes, but that's under the rules right now. That's under those.
Yeah. If everything stays.
As everything stays the same, playoffs start in, was it April? April, that's getting close into the summer, right? We're getting ready for that. With April, May, yeah. Usually shit changes, right? Every summer, the last 2 years, right?
I feel like we're going to see a surge. That Omarion, was pulled up in the winter, but everybody trying to hit these streets. Soon as the weather gets nice.
We all go to surge, but if we look at what the government's done when the summer shit is open.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
As I said, the shit is open. There's no rules, so everyone can turn up. So I wouldn't be surprised if by the time the playoffs comes, mandate is actually off.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised that the mandate is off. But if you're playing chess, and it's coming down to those last few weeks and nothing has changed and you don't get no sign that, the mandate is going to be off, especially for New York City, New York itself, I want to be the road team.
And do you see a world where Kyrie gets the vaccine, say that they get home court advantage in hypothetical space?
Nah.
Not even the pump fake Antonio Brown, just here's the card.
No, it's too late now because, I'm pretty sure if he wanted the fake card, he would have done it way before. But, he don't want to push that narrative, which I understand as an athlete, you don't want to push your stuff onto other people. You want people to make their own decisions. And, I understand that. When people ask me, what would you do in that situation? I'll be honest, I don't know. I can't lie to you right now. Exactly. I got to wait till I'm in that situation.
Exactly.
So it's hard to, say what someone would do if I was in that situation. We can all, sit there and be like, I'm going to do this or I'll do this. I don't fucking know. I'm not there. I don't, I'm not in that situation. So it's, but it's going to be challenging, It's going to be challenging playing only the road games with them. That does give an advantage, to the other team because, if they still won at home, or they still won at their place. You got to remember, they're playing 2 at their place. And usually the home team wins. So if they can win 2 of there, all they do is just got to steal one in Brooklyn. Now you don't have Kyrie. That's a little bit easier. So, it's going to be real tricky. It's a little chess.
And if you're the Nets, would you ever consider making a move for Kyrie or Harden before the deadline?
Trading?
Yeah.
For who?
See what's out there.
I see what's out there.
So you good.
I got one guy averaging 22, 8, and 10. 22, 8, and 10. I got the other who just came back averaging 23 on 48%. What are you giving me?
That's right.
I mean, what are you really giving me? That's what I said. Like, we can listen to sports analysts, to be honest, and they can make everything sound good, but then there becomes reality. Reality is reality. Yeah. Like, if KD and Kyrie are best friends, right? They're good, they are tight. When one is mad, the other one is mad. You get rid of one, I'm pretty sure the other one's gonna be pissed off too, so that means you're gonna lose two, possibly all three with one bad decision. So you have to, there's reality. Hey, are y'all real friends like that? Like, y'all real friends? You gotta text that to me. Are y'all real cool? You know what I mean? So, unfortunate, they're in that situation, shit happens. Yeah. Hopefully they can bounce out of it. Hopefully shit changes and, they can move on, win a championship, and boom.
And do you feel like the squad, with Kyrie only playing road games, could still win a championship? No way.
Let me not say no way. And it's all it's all matchups at this point. When you're talking about like going through the playoffs, it's all about matchups. I can tell you right now, does Toronto have mandates?
Yeah, Canada's. I think.
So what happens? What happens if Brooklyn plays Toronto in the playoffs?
It's gonna be interesting.
Right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like what happens? Does he get to still play in Toronto because it's away? Like how does that?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Canadian quarantine rules. I'm a proud American. I only worry about what we got going on here.
Facts.
Los Angelino. But that's going to start presenting issues and problems. Though,
yeah, so it's just just trying to figure out how to navigate through the playoffs. Try to play some teams that you have the advantage over, and then it's who's waiting in the West.
That's a good point. So let's move over to the West now. One team that may not be waiting for him, despite everybody's beliefs going into the season, is the Lakers. Lakers currently 9th. LeBron dealing with some issues, missed several games. Has some hope. They beat the Blazers recently. Not to say the Blazers are good, but those are teams that the Lakers have tricked games to. 9th place. You're the Lakers. Trade deadline's coming up. You're Rob Pelinka. Are you working those phones trying to make a move? And what do you think the move that's necessary to get this squad back to the championship form that many believe they could have had when the season started?
Yeah, it's always difficult when you're making decisions, especially because you're dealing with, you have superstars, right? Right now everyone's on the Westbrook trade. The answer is, what are you going to get back for him? What do you think, what are you hoping to get back for a Westbrook talent? Like, you know what I mean? Like, forget, like, let's everything everyone's saying. What do you think you're gonna get back that's gonna help you pogo to championship status? That is the real question. Because you're trading him for someone who can be impactful with that team. Like, and I don't see where that trade comes in. I don't, because at this point you're looking for a shooting guard, but they have the same dead space that Philly does. You got a guy that you got 3 players that start that's going to take 1 to 4 shots. Right? They average 3 players on the starting lineup, average a total of 15 points combined. 15 points combined. Well, unfortunately, that's 2 versus 5 on offense. It's 2 players versus 5 defenders. you're going to struggle. You know, so it's trying to figure out, you gotta remember, LeBron is at a certain age. You need more scoring around him. If you put more scoring around him, that means no one can actually double. You can't double anyone. That means LeBron gets to the basket easier, AD gets to the basket easier, because there's more players out there that can actually put that ball in the basket. You know, the fact that you're building lineups for defense when everybody else is offense, that's what's actually hurting you too. Because you're scoring 15 points a game, the three players that those guys are guarding are scoring about 40 to 45. Someone has to make that up. While beating, like, I gotta beat my man and then outscore them by 40 to 50 points. So I don't see what Lakers can trade that's gonna get back something that's gonna help them into that. This is all the pieces you have. You gotta figure out how to cook this dish. And that's the thing, you gotta figure out how to, like, cook this meal. Like, I got everything you need to make a Thanksgiving meal.
This episode is brought to you by 8 Sleep. Good sleep is the ultimate game changer. More than 30% of Americans struggle with sleeping, and one of the main causes is temperature. The worst I've ever slept was when my air conditioner went out. I could have used this next thing I'm about to read. That's why 8 Sleep created the Pod Pro cover. It's the most advanced solution on the market for thermal regulation. It pairs dynamic cooling with biometric tracking. Basically, it can read your body temperature, room temperature, your sleep stages to create an optimal sleeping environment. Testing shows that 8 Sleep users fall asleep 32% faster and have 40% less interruptions. And everyone from CEOs to CrossFit athletes, including the 2021 fittest man on earth, Justin Medeiros, uses 8 Sleep to help their workouts and recovery. Go to 8sleep.com/no-chill to check out the Pod Pro cover and save $150 at checkout. Again, go to 8sleep.com/no-chill to check out the Pod Pro cover and save $150 at checkout. All right, NBA fans, are you looking for a daily fantasy option for the NBA? Then you need to try the award-winning app, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. I love this, and I know you will too. All you have to do is pick anywhere from 2 to 5 players. Select the under or over of their projection, and you can win up to 10 times your entry. Prize Picks also offers any prop you can think of, from point scoring to rebounds. You can even do steals. You're even allowed to mix sports entries. For example, you can grab the over on John Morant and the under on Travis Kelce. And don't forget to use promo code NOCHILL to receive 100% instant deposit, match up to $100. That's promo code NOCHILL for 100% instant deposit match. Check out prizepicks.com. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy.
So then where do you place the blame at for this season and so far? Because obviously LeBron playing at an MVP level when he's on, you know, the 30-point scoring streak that turned into a 25-point scoring streak. And it just wasn't getting it done, you know, in the win-loss column.
Because, you know, you still got one guy. You know, you got one guy struggling because the space he needs is not there. So now he has to do something that he just doesn't do. He has to settle more, has to shoot more jumpers. He has to try to force the action. And that's because there's 3 players on the court that's just sitting there, right? Like, why would I ever guard Bradley? No, I'm just serious. Why would I guard him? What is he gonna do? He's gonna sit in the corner somewhere. So, I mean, if Westbrook's here, I'm just gonna sit here. I want you to pass it to him. All he does is just gonna pump fake pass shit back. I don't gotta guard him. Trevor Ariza. Trevor's there for defense. Trevor's gonna shoot about 4 shots, right? I'm not gonna guard him. He got 4 shots. The best he can give you is 12 on those 4 shots. He hit all 4 threes. But again, that's only 4 shots.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna sit in the lane. Dwight, they're not doing 5 down, and he's gonna get 4 shots. He's there for rebound and defense.
Yeah, 2 of them are gonna be putbacks.
Yeah, so now you have 3 guys who's sitting there. Like, you know what I mean? LeBron bullying through is a lot different than Westbrook trying to bully through. You know what I mean? So it becomes a harder match. Because I remember when I was with Washington, and I understood that, and me and Eddie like, yo, hold on, we got 2 post players. We got a 5 that post and a 4 that post. I can't get in the lane. Me and Larry can't get in this lane. Like, every time we try to drive, one of them is on the block. You telling us don't settle, we're forced to settle. We're forced to settle because someone's posting here. So when I take my man and beat him, I got a big man there. I got a big man here. So we need one of these 2 to float up. And then when we got Antoine, boom. Now when I drive, there's only 1 big man. So now there's a lane. It becomes like, because you got to remember, as long as you're forcing me, that's what I said, you're forcing me to shoot jumpers when I don't want to. You're telling me not to settle, but the offense is telling me shoot a jumper. You know, so like little things like that actually do matter. Like, people don't think they matter. They really do matter. Like, it does matter. Like, we have, that's what I said, you have habits. You have, like, when you look at, like, shit like Olympics, right? There's a reason that Melo led the team in scoring every year. His style of basketball is great for that. They play in zone, so that means it's going to be harder for LeBron and Chris Paul and them to get into that lane. Melo's a jump shooter, quick shooter, rhythm shooter. That's perfect basketball for him, right? So he doesn't, went to Syracuse, zone buster, right? So he understands that space and in that world. So when you look at it like, man, Melo's leading them and scoring every year, how? Because that's his world right now. Yeah. He's playing in his world. He's playing like everyone else gets affected because now they have to try to navigate through this space. Small space, NBA players, shorter 3. Like, it becomes a smaller space for these guys to be as great as we see them. So now they're playing, they got to figure out how to play smarter. When Melo's like, I get to do me. So, that the way the game is being, your lineup is very important to some players.
Cool. Let's shift it. We're gonna play a game. I know you're a big poker guy. Play a game, hold or fold. So we're gonna start with the Lakers, THT. Should the Lakers try to make a move? Should they hold or should they fold?
THT? Hold.
Why?
Because he's one of those players that you need when the defense understands your game plan. He's one of those guys that can create his own shot out of nothing. He doesn't need plays. You just give him the ball and he can make something. Like, you gotta remember, he can make something happen. When the study is in, like, we know what we're doing, he gets in the game, you don't know what he's gonna do. He's your Ginobili type. He's your Crawford type. He's your, Barrera and all of them. Like that person that comes in, you're like, dang, they just changed the tempo. They just changed the game. That's the type of player he is. So you try to hold on to that player because you don't know what his real value is. He can turn into a $120 million man overnight because he went into the playoffs and, averaged 25. You put him in and they don't have a game plan for his style.
So you said playoffs. Do you see the Lakers, because right now they're in play-in game mode, and like the janky one where, you got to win 2 to get in, you win 1, you're out. Do you see the Lakers improving on this squad? Obviously, once LeBron comes back, LeBron, AD, Westbrook, we still haven't really seen that 3-headed monster play a significant amount of time together this season.
Yeah, to be honest, even where they are right now, I'll really be surprised if they didn't make the playoffs. I would. I'm not gonna. I'll be like, wait, huh?
No.
Ain't no way.
Let's move to the Northwest. CJ McCollum. If you're the Blazers, hold or fold?
Oh, man, CJ is so gifted. very skilled, but he's a tradable piece. He is a tradable piece because what he gives me, Dame gives me too. I'd rather have two guys who can do the same exact thing because if one is struggling, the other one is going to pick it up. If they're both on, it's like having three monsters out there. It depends on what you're giving me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I know what CJ is going to give me, 20 a game, at least 10 to 15 big shots this season, right? And that's with Dame on the team. So it has to be really appealing. Like, it's one of those where I'm not going to be looking for it, but if someone presents something and I can't turn it down, then it's like, you know, you're giving me, you know, Devin Booker or, you know, Tatum.
Yeah.
You know, even a player that I can, you know, like, let's say Brandon Ingram. Like, I'll still, like, I don't feel comfortable doing it, but I'll take the leap on that one.
Okay.
You know, so it's one of those players that they're on the come up. You know, but if you can get a super, it reminds me of IT in Boston, right? If you can give me a superstar for him, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'll do that. You know, I'll do that because his numbers is gonna, you know, is gonna demand that. What he does is gonna demand that. So you just gotta be willing to pick the right piece to fit.
This is the trade deadline show, but let's just say there are no trades made. No trades are made, and we're the same place today that we are after the trade deadline. Mm-hmm. Which team do you think has the best chance of winning the NBA championship?
No trades, huh? Is everybody healthy, or are you giving me everybody healthy? Because, you know.
Healthy enough. Yeah, we'll say that.
Healthy enough?
Healthy enough to play.
All right, so from the West, you will have Phoenix and Golden State going at it. East is wide open. East is wide open because, you know, as Milwaukee was the favorites going into the season, you know, when you lost too many important pieces that actually helps you in the playoffs. I mean, the East is wide open. Like there's no real dominant team that can just be like, okay, this is where I'm gonna put my money on this team is gonna be, you know, in the championship. There's not actually one team unless Brooklyn is all healthy. Other than that, there's no one team. Miami, no. They can possibly get there, but they're just gonna have to play great, solid team basketball. Boston, no. Hawks, if they get to play against the Knicks, you know, every round, you know, I think they can pull that out. You got Bulls. I mean, the fact that, you know, a couple people went down. They have the most solid team that understands each other. They defined their number one guy. They got the number two guy. They got their hustlers. But, you know, two of them are hurt, right? You know, it kind of sucks. There's no team in the East that really like, you know, Milwaukee. You couldn't put your money on nobody in the East at this point because it's all wide open. Now it's just matchups.
We got a healthy Bulls squad, healthy Nets squad.
Healthy Bulls and healthy Nets?
Bulls have home court advantage, though. I'll caveat with that. Or we can flip it too, say Bulls don't. And now,
but Kyrie gets to play home games. Like the city change.
Kyrie's still only
the city
road,
change.
He's still only road gaming it up.
I'm gonna give it to the Nets.
Okay.
There's only so much DeRozan and Levine can really handle. For them, they're gonna have to rely on going into that series like, yo, between the two of us, for us to compete, we're gonna have to average 28, 29. Because we know KD's going for at least playoffs, at least 30-something. That he's gonna be guaranteed 30. So one of us has got to neutralize his points. Now, where we get the win is James Harden. Which James Harden's coming out? Is it gonna be the 20, 10, and 8 guy, or the man who's trying to score 40-something? So it's really dependent on what James Harden likes. So we got to remove Kyrie and figure out. So if the superstars come out, it's basically whoever has the best role players. At this point, I'm gonna give the edge to Brooklyn because they have KD.
So I want to ask you, who's your dark horse? Like, you had to go with your wildest prediction of a team that could win the championship, but actually realistically has a chance to do it in the West and in the East.
My dark horse, Lakers, late show, baby.
You can't ever count on a squad with LeBron at least getting to the finals.
Come on, let's be honest. Listen, everyone will laugh at us, but they really do still have LeBron, AD, and Westbrook on that team. So at that point, you really have a three-headed monster. So they are really a dark horse, but they're still a favorite of me. A dark horse is...
They shouldn't really be a dark horse.
They shouldn't be a dark horse, but the fact that I get to say they're a dark horse, I'll take them as a dark horse.
They are ninth in the West right now, past the midway point.
You can say Suns is a dark horse, even though they're number one.
Which is wild.
Yeah, even though they're number one, you can be like, right? You know what I mean? It's like, it's just what they do is just, it goes so unnoticed. It goes so unnoticed. And this is why when I made Chris Paul top 5, I understood. I looked at the team and said, that's the type of team, he needs. He can make that team way better than what they're producing. Like, you're talking about this team was horrible before he got there. Horrible.
Yeah. They were,
they went 8-0 in the bubble and still didn't make the playoff. That's how horrible they were. Let's just be honest.
But they didn't have, Aiden missed the first 20, 25 games that year. I'm just saying, they would have been a playoff team had he.
Doubt it.
Oof. You saw that Aiden, no. You saw what that squad could be.
The Aiden that looks, what we're seeing now is because the point guard knows what he's doing. Just if we want to understand how smart a player is, we've seen that 5-second shot he made, right? Yeah. Where he's the ball's inbounds, roll it, and he's sitting there playing with it and then when he gets to his comfort zone where he know he can get to here, to that rim in 5 seconds, picks up the ball, goes. In today's world, you think he's gonna shoot a 3? Man, wide open layup, because everybody's thinking I'm shooting a 3. That right there tells you what type of player he is. The best shots every single time. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the chip this year.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to win, but yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they have, you know what I mean? I'm a Laker fan, you know what I mean? So it's
but you got Arizona ties at least.
Yeah, but close. Chris Paul, but what he does, you got to remember, they lost last year and they're playing even better this year. They're playing even better, harder. So, you can't actually call them a dark horse. I can't. You got to call them a favorite. I guess Golden State can be a dark horse because even though they're in a second, you still got to make it work.
That's real. Honestly, the West is tough because there's not.
It's tough. The reason it's tough is because these teams that are top, wasn't expecting to be top. Like, you wasn't expecting the Suns to be where they are right now. Golden State without Clay, you didn't expect them to be where they are right now. So the fact that they got Clay back with the rest of their unit, it makes them really dangerous. And nobody else right now is playing great basketball to say they're better than those two teams.
So let's talk about your favorite squad, the Milwaukee Bucks. You think they have any shot whatsoever?
I don't want to say they don't have a shot, but I mean, if you look at the road they went through last year, they barely made it out every stage. I mean, round one, they won round one. 2, they get dusted first 2 games. Like it was embarrassing. Like, oh, oof, this, hey. All right, and then, Jersey got hurt. Trae Young's giving them all that work. Hurts ankle, out for the, and then, championship, Foster, you know what I mean? The Foster freeze. The Foster freeze, you know what I mean? 2 games in the Foster freeze, 2 games. It's 2 games. This is not pretend it was 1. It was 2-0, Foster freeze comes in. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, losing PJ, sometimes you're losing PJ Tucker, losing a couple pieces, kind of changed the way their team moves a little bit. They could. You got to remember, they could come out because, it's so wide open. But as I said, at this point, no matter what team you pick, no one's going to be like, oh, that's a horrible pick. Like even Cleveland right now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
If you pick Cavs, nobody's going to be like, man, that's fucking horrible. Everybody's like, yeah.
It's possible.
At this point, it's possible. Toronto, it's possible. You know what I mean? Like that's where the East is right now. Everything is possible.
All right, that was our NBA trade deadline preview. Hopefully your team makes some moves and gets less boo-booer if they're whack and gets better if they're good. This has been No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. We'll be back with more very soon.
Hey, can we trade coaches?
Ooh.
We should be able to trade coaches out too, man.